All right, hey, good morning. It's Noel. And welcome to another day. Gonna read Luke 23 this morning. So yeah, just getting going. So yeah, still waiting to wake up, I guess. But here we go. Luke 23. Then the whole assembly arose and led him off to Pilate, and they began to accuse him, saying, "We have found this man subverting our nation. He opposes payment of taxes to Caesar and claims to be Christ, a king." So Pilate asked Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" "Yes, it is as you say," Jesus replied. Then Pilate announced to the chief priest and crowd, "I find no basis for a charge against this man." But they insisted, "He stirs up the people all over Judea by his teaching." And let's see, he started in Galilee and has come all the way here. On hearing this, Pilate asked if the man was a Galilean. When he learned that Jesus was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was greatly pleased, because for a long time he had been wanting to see him. From what he had heard about him, he had hoped to see him perform some miracles. He piled him, plied him. He plied him. I don't know. Yeah, with many questions. I must just be too, you know, tired for that one. Um, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priests and the teachers of the law were standing there, vehemently accusing him. Then Herod and his soldiers ridiculed and mocked him. Dressing him in elegant robes, they sent him back to Pilate. That day, Herod and Pilate became friends. Before this, uh, before this, they had been enemies. Um, Pilate called together the the rulers, chief priests, the rulers, and the people, and said to them, "You brought me this man as one um, who was enticing people to rebellion. I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis for your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us. As you can see, he has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then release him." With one voice, the crowd shouted, "Away with this man! Release Barabbas to us!" With one voice, they cried out, "Yeah, away with this man and release Barabbas to us!" Barabbas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city and for murder. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed to them again, but they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" For the third time, he spoke to them. "Why? What crime has this man committed? I have found in him no grounds for a death penalty. Therefore, I will have him punished and then release him." But the crowd shouts they insistently demanded that he be crucified. and their shouts prevailed. So Pilate decided to grant their demand. He released uh, the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder, and the one they asked for, and surrendered Jesus to their will. Sorry, 1 second. I think it's worth all Christians like remembering, you know, that part of the story. Yes, for Jesus, and there also, but um, who was releasing him and who was demanding him be murdered, killed, executed. As they led him away, they seized Simon from Cyrene, who was on his way from the country, and put the cross on him, and made him carry it behind Jesus. A number of people followed him, including women who mourned and wailed for him. Jesus turned and said to them, "Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. For the time will come when you will say, 'Blessed are the barren women and the wombs that never bore, and the breasts that had never nursed.' Then they will say to the mountains, 'Fall on us,' and the hills, 'Cover us.' For if men do these things when the tree is green, what will happen when it is dry?" Like Jesus was with them. Now he's about to be gone. And yeah, two other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, there they were crucified along with criminals. There they crucified him along with the criminals. One on his right, one on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. People stood and watched, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Christ of God, the chosen one." The soldiers also came up and mocked him. They offered wine vinegar and said, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was a notice written above him which read, "This is the king of the Jews." One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God?" he said, "since you are under the same sentence? We are uh, we are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise." It was now about the 6th hour, and darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour. The sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised God and said, "Surely this was a righteous man." When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their breasts and went away. But all those who knew him, including the women who had followed him from Galilee, stood at a distance watching these things. Now there was a man named Joseph, a member of the council, a good and upright man who had not consented to their decision and action. He came from Judea, from a Judean town, uh, Arimathea, and he was um, waiting for the kingdom of God. Going to Pilate, he asked for Jesus' body. Then he took it down, wrapped it in linen cloth, and placed it in a tomb in cut in the rock, one in which no one had yet been laid. It was preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. The women who had come with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. Then they went home and prepared spices and perfumes, and they rested on the Sabbath in obedience with the commandment. Let's Luke 23. Yeah, speaks for itself, I think. You know, the capacity for evil is enormous, and it can come out of the religious leaders. It can come out of the government. It can just come out of a random person. Um, well, I don't think we um, really understand a lot of that. You know, by scratching away. Uh, anyway, yeah. Um, at least we get to look at Luke 24 tomorrow. So that'll be the last chapter in Luke, and then keep going on in the Bible. But yeah, I think that's about it for today. It's -6 outside currently, and expecting more snow in a couple of days. Um, so yeah, it's actually when it stays frozen like this. Um, I mean, the cold sucks. Don't get me wrong, but when it stays frozen like this, at least for like the dogs and stuff going outside and um, everything stays pretty clean because it's frozen. When it starts melting, and going back and forth with above freezing during the day and all that. Then you start getting into dirt and sloppy mud and all that kind of stuff. So as much as I don't want it to be cold, I kind of would prefer it to be at least frozen. Yeah, which if you knew me is just completely not like me. Um, every winter I think I make plans to move to Florida. So I doubt it's happening, but uh, yeah. So anyway, that's what we got going on, and I'm breeding today also. So doing some AI. We have a last one for this mom, and God willing, it takes and everything. I think she'll be really good, and just have really. Uh, it's her first time um, being a mom, but she's almost 2.5. I mean, I've had her since she was 8 weeks old, um, and bred her one other time, but didn't take. And so, really hope this time it does. She's really, um, her coat's really, really, really good. As far as like she's a golden retriever, so it's feathered and all that. But then she has this like unique face, unique eyes, I guess. And it almost reminds you of like almost like a deer. I don't know. She's always had this. It's really cool. So I've been looking forward to these puppies for about 2.5 years. Um, so yeah, hopefully gotten two good AIs done. So hopefully um, we'll see something this time, and yeah, it'll be pretty exciting. So um, yeah, I think that's about it. Hope you guys have a good day, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. All right, bye.